every one of the 7 chords. Thank you. So nice to see you all this morning. It's great to I know most of you by now after this cool week that we all spent. Like I said in the concert on Monday, I really like songs that tell stories. So I've got a few of those today. This is a story that I heard on the podcast Radio Lab that just really struck me. And now you don't even have to turn on your radio. You get to hear the story just straight I get a call, there's a whale 18 miles out, tangled up and barely afloat. Must dive, but he's grabbed gear and head straight out through the Golden Gate and explode. 2 hours out, just empty sea. Guess we'll have to head back. But wait, over there, buoys and seagulls, and what's that sliver of black? And it's a wide, wide world when you step away from home. It's a wide, wide world where you're not alone. We jump in, good Lord, she's big as a bus, something pulling her tail straight down. She's worn out, holding up a huge mess of crab traps, got to weigh 2,000 pounds. There's rope around her head, down her back, across her fins, down her tail, around her eye and her mouth. I swim in slow, over huge I follow. I pull my dive knife out, and it's a wide, wide world when you step away from home. It's a wide, wide world where you're not alone. Well, it's cut after cut, you really have to saw. The ropes are strong and so tight. After hours at last, I cut the red one and the whole mess sinks out of sight. All at once the whale is just gone. We're whooping and yelling, she's free. But I look down and that 50-ton humpback is rising up right at me. And it's a wide, wide world when you step away from home. It's a wide, wide world and we're not alone. Well, she's up and looming so close, 18 inches away. Just looks and looks and looks at me, so still and silent and gray. Then swims to the next with the same long gaze, and the next and visits us all, leading in the present to something so great it makes me feel so small. And it's a wide, wide world when you step away from home. It's a wide, wide world and we're not alone. Well, think what you want, but I swear that the whale is thanking us, everyone. I'll bring that to my grave, the gratification I feel for what we've done. Now it's dusk, the water glass flat, just us and the boat and the whale. We want to, she wants to stay, but we have to go home and tell the tale. And it's a wide, wide world when you step away from home. It's a wide, wide world where you're not alone. So I have a son, he's 14, really struck us, me and my wife and my son, perform as the band was hitting bridge and do songs on thank you folks school for this guitar, and to Sam for the Morningsong filling in this recording. This cable I think came from a gym where you build your arms going like This one is called I Used to Know the Names of All the Stars. So, we humans have figured out a lot of stuff. We really learned so much about the world around us and how everything works. And but this is actually a song from another Radio Lab, different Radio Lab podcast that I heard. This is something that people have been trying to figure out for over 2,000 years that we still haven't figured out, despite the best scientific minds working away at it year after year. And the subject is one that I'm sure people think about a lot, which is eels. moon so far away, untangle the strands of DNA, and still our smartest minds cannot reveal. Where do they come from? Where do they come from? We've searched high and low from long, long ago. We just want to know, where do they come from? That's the chorus. I'll try it. Where do they come from? Where do they come from? We've searched high and low from long, long ago. We just want to know, where do they come from? Aristotle studied and decreed that eels are peculiar fish indeed. They have no eggs and do not mate. From mud and earth they generate, and everyone for centuries agreed. The Middle Ages, many theories hatch. They come from dewdrops, they come from thatch. There are no males and no females. They start as hair from horses' tails. How would it be? Everybody wails. Where do they come from? Where do they come from? We've searched high and low from long, long ago. We just want to know, where do they come from? 1700, Antony von Leeuwenhoek, that pioneer of the microscope, did take a look. Saw babies, and a bigger one. Eureka! Eels have live young, but actually they were only some worms. Biologist Lazaro Spallanzani asked eel fishers if they'd seen a mommy eel. 150 million caught. Were any pregnant? They were not. Well, if they have no eggs, you got to tell me, where do they come from? Where do they come from? They've searched high and low from long, long ago. We just want to know, where do they come from? 1876, Sigmund Freud, one summer during college, was employed to find the testes of the eel. He cut up hundreds, big ordeal, and finding none could only squeal, annoyed. Where do they come from? Where do they come from? We've searched high and low from long, long ago. We just want to know, where do they come from? Let's see, who was that next guy? 1890, Giovanni Grassi counted teeny vertebrae until at last he said, these glassy bug-eyed willow leaves that everyone thought were their own species are eel babies. Well, hooray! But please, where do they come from? Where do they come from? We've searched high and low from long, long ago. We just want to know, where do they come from? 1921, Johannes Schmidt spent 20 years at sea and never quit, searching in his trawler for babies ever smaller. At last he knew the Sargasso Sea was it. And now, high-tech, we watch as they migrate, but the ones we tag all die before they mate. Finally, one was swimming rapidly straight for the Sargasso Sea, but the tag fell off, so we wait, still asking, where do they come from? Where do they come from? We searched high and low from long, long ago. We just want to know, where they come from. And still no one has seen an eel spawn. At all our efforts, Mother Nature yawns. But every year they're less, not more, endangered now on sea and shore. To help, we must find out before they're gone. Where do they come from? Where do they come from? We've searched high and low from long, long ago. We just want to know, where they come from. We really need to know, where do they come from. I did not write this one. This one was written by a woman named Cicely Fox Smith, who lived in the early part of the 20th century. She lived in England. And she was fascinated by sailing ships in the sea. And she went around and hung out on the docks where the sailors were and spent a long time talking to them, just learning about how their world, what their world was about, and how they spoke the language that they used. And she wrote 6 or 8 volumes of poetry from those experiences of talking to those people. And that was back in the day when all poetry would rhyme and scan, which I've always loved. And so some people have, and her work was so, she would get letters. She wrote early on under the name C. Fox Smith, and she would get letters like, "Sir, I know that you must have been a very experienced sea captain because no one else could know the details of what goes on the way you write about it in poetry." So I think that's cool. Anyway, this is one of the people have been setting her songs to music. This is one of those called the Tryphena's Extra Hand, and it has a whole lot of sort of sailing terminology in it. There's a chorus that comes around a few times, but it's full of all these words, and I could teach it to you, but it would take like 10 minutes. But I just want to tell you what some of the words mean because they're so vivid. There'll be one more at the halyards. There'll be one more on the yard. The halyards are the ropes that you pull to raise the sail. The yard is the horizontal beam that holds square sails. Fisting down them thundering courses when they're frosted good and hard. So the courses are large lower sails. Thundering courses means, so this is like there's a storm going on, and the wind is blowing so hard that those pieces of canvas are just thundering. Fisting down means trying to bring them down, trying to get them down out of this gale when they're frosted good and hard. So like it's freezing, it's below freezing, and the rain has frosted those sails so much that it's just a big struggle to get them down at all. Fisting down them thundering courses. There'll be one more tallying on the forebrace when the waist's neck deep in foam. The waist, so tallying on the forebrace is another rope that they're pulling on to try to get things in shape. The waist is the middle of the ship. Neck deep in foam. The seas are so big that they're washing over the ship. And they're out there pulling on this rope, when this water is up to their neck. One more hand to sweat the topsails up and sheet to Gansel's home. So to Gansel is the top gallant sail, but you don't have too much time to say stuff, so you've got to shorten it to Gansel's. So here's her song, Tryphena's Extra Hand. I usually do it on the concertina, but I didn't have one of those here. Clipper ship Tryphena, swinging northward from the line, with the trade wind blowing steady and her flying kites a shine. 5 and 60 days from Angier, with her freight of Foochow teas. A sailor man lay dying, and the words he spoke were these. Many years I've known this packet, and I've got to like her well. And I've not much hope of heaven, and I've not much use for hell. But if so be as they'll let me, by the great hook block I swear, when the old Trifina wants me, dead as living, I'll be there. There'll be one more at the halyards, there'll be one more on the yard, fisting down and thundering courses when they're frosted good and hard. One more tallion on the forebrace when the waist neck deep in foam. One more hand sweat the topsails up and sheet the gansels home. It was on the western islands when he smelled the land he died, and they laid the back in the main yard and they dropped him overside. Then they squared away for England, bully hauling with a will. But for all they thought they left him there, well, he sailed the border still. And the chaps as was his shipmates went the way as all chaps go, and the folks as was her owners sold the old ship long ago. But whoever owned or sold her, and whoever went or came, the Trifina's extra hand, he sailed aboard with her just the same. There'll be one more at the halyards, there'll be one more on the yard, fisting down and thundering courses when they're frosted good and hard. One more tallion on the forebrace when the waist neck deep in foam. One more hand to sweat the topsails up and sheet the gansels home. And he never signed no articles, he never drawed no pay, and never scoffed no bills, but by night as well as day. Though you'd never know he's coming, and you'd never see him go, he'd be always somewhere handy when it's coming on to blow. And he'd stand by his wheel and look out, and you'd kind of feel him near, kind of see him and not see him, kind of hear him and not hear. And the funny thing about it is you somehow couldn't swear, though you know it sure is shooting when the extra hand was there. There'll be one more at the halyard, there'll be one more on the yard, fisting down and thundering courses when they're frosted good and hard. One more tallion on the forebrace when the waist neck deep in foam. One more hand to sweat the topsails up and sheet the gansels home. And in port, when all the chaps had gone ashore to take their ease, left the ship as lonesome and as quiet as you please. Not a blessed soul aboard her, but the galley cat and you. Then you hear a sort of something, more than once I've heard it too. Like a feller up aloft there, like a feller up aloft there, cluttering round amongst the gear, seizing there another rat line, putting on a mousing here, and rum-tumming old tunes over, just such as shellbacks used to know in the good old China tea trade, many's the year ago. And rum-tumming old tunes over, such as shellbacks used to know